Hello, hey, welcome. So it is the Doctor Who finale, uh, battle of long ass planet name that I can't quite remember, but I do remember it means Soul Eater or Soul Destroyer, or words to that effect. So we're just calling it the finale because it is. Sorry, I've just dropped something that's annoying me. we're, it is the last episode of the current series 11. Forgive me for playing on my hair. I have just had a shower, and it was either do this with wet hair or do it with a big towel on my head, and I didn't really fancy doing that today. So, if you are new to these particular reviews, that's a bit better. Then, excuse me. The way I like to do it is I like to talk about it, spoiler free for a few moments until I decide that, hello, that I can't talk about it spoiler free anymore. And then I have my sign held up by my glamorous assistant Forks, and then we are officially in the spoiler zone. Also, just a quick side note today, I am currently making dinner. So at some point, we will be going into the kitchen so I can sort out my potato. Bleh! Sort out my potatoes. Sorry, this stuff. Professional. This is the high level professional type of reviewing you've come to expect from this channel. So yeah, at some point, I'm going to take us into the kitchen so I can sort my potatoes out as well. I'm having chicken, in case you're wondering. So, yeah, the Doctor Who finale showdown adventure. Bit of a dark one. Not in a terrible way. I mean, Jeebus, there were some heartfelt moments in it, but I mean, it's on a planet that itself is quite. It's this season's Quarry episode. Let's be honest. But the planet itself is quite low rent. There's a lot of ships crashed on it, and a lot of it takes place indoors in dark areas. So it's dark in the sense that it's literally dark throughout most of it, and there are some darker ideas and themes happening within. Um, this, and I'll get into more details when we're in the spoilers. But this episode definitely kind of rounds off Graham's arc, and again, Bradley Walsh is absolutely killing it. So we'll be talking about that. I do need a sip of water. Excuse me, please. Oh, two people. Hello. Don't worry, we're still in the spoiler-free area, as you can see. No sign. Yeah. So, four. Hello. This is nice. Yeah. So, what do I think? Good. Oh, well, only three now. This was a very good, very well acted story. There was a lot going on, which, when we get into the spoiler zone, I will try and remember and go through as much as I can. Again, very small guest cast. Same as last week, very small guest cast. In this instance, we have, again, 4 main guest characters, and then there's a few support background people who are also there. But yeah, we have 4 people who are with our main cast. So yeah, again, nice tight. I like the smaller guest cast. I like it when it's just a couple of people and we get to spend some time with them. Sorry if my throat sounds a bit I don't know what's wrong. Excuse me, a bit cold there. So yeah, I'm not sure how much I can go on without saying too much about it. Yeah, the guest cast was brilliant. All of them were very good. We have our gruff commander guy. And I can't remember any of the actors' names. And I barely remember the characters' names. Crap, I hate it when I do that. I've literally just finished watching it. I'm like, Well, there's two that I'm gonna. Well, he's just called Delph. Well, Skara. He reminded me of Skara. These two you meet at the beginning. So Skara and Ando. Well, it's Delph and Ando. Commander, and someone else that I will talk about later. So, they all do really strong with what they have. They all give great performances. The planet itself, and this isn't too spoilery because it's kind of introduced early on, but the planet itself has a psychic field. So there's moments where our guest characters are like, confused about who they are, but then the Doctor helps them, and it's like they're slowly remembering, and that performance is really, really well played. I say cinematography wise, because it is kind of the Quarry episode, and then you've got a lot of indoor stuff, it hasn't got the same grandeur as some of certainly the Norway stuff last week. But I don't think it needs it. Side note, it turns out the young actress who played Hannah last week is actually blind and apparently actually British. So, well done to her. Most of the set design, the lighting and the sets and everything, that's really cool. Some really nice set pieces, but cinematography isn't terrible. It's just it's not as got much scope as last week with the forests and such. I'm not sure how much I can say outside of the acting's good. I enjoyed the story. It was intriguing. There was a lot going on without really getting into massive spoilers. Do I think this was a good series finale? Yeah, I do. It wasn't bombastic. And what I mean by that is a lot of them can be you're building up and you've got this big battle at the end and it was all going off. And in that way, it was a lot smaller. I'm trying to think of all the finales. I'm trying to think because I mean, technically Capaldi's last regular episode was quite big. It had it was a big 2 parts of finale. You had both masters sort of flirting with themselves, and that was a lot going on there with Cyberman, the big battle there. Obviously, Twice Upon a Time, that was a smaller story. It's not as much bombast. But if we're talking regular end of series finales, then this was definitely a smaller story, and I liked that. I think it worked very well, especially when you consider the players involved in this story. So good finale, good wrap up to everyone's stories. Again, Bradley Walsh is killing it. Great guest actors. I would recommend it, but I would recommend it as a finale. I wouldn't recommend watching it on its own just for the sake of it. Hello, BBC America just announced season 12. Not until 2020. I'm gonna have to come back on it because I know we're definitely getting a New Year's Day special, and I don't know. Last I heard that they were already shooting series 12, and at least some of it should be broadcasting in England, 2019. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen that report. If you've just seen it, then sorry, who am I talking to? Oh, hello, William. Are you new? Welcome. So I don't know. I mean, I hope so. Oh, the official Facebook. Again, I've literally just finished watching the episode, and I don't know what's happening. And like I say, for BBC America, that might be the case. That's when they're broadcasting. I don't know how it works, if it's simultaneously broadcast or not. So I don't know on that one. I'll have to. But I'm. If you're saying it's on the official Facebook, then I'm not just doubting you. But last I heard, there were going to be some episodes broadcast in 2019 with the rest 2020. So I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I'm in England, so I get them when they're broadcast on the BBC originally. Without unless anyone's got any non-spoilery comments they want to make or ask. Only the new year. Perhaps you might be right. Like I said, I haven't looked into it myself. Sorry. But unless anyone else has got any non-spoilery comments or questions they want to make, I think we are ready to go into the spoiler zone. I'm so glad that was the right way up because I didn't check first. Yep, we are in the spoiler zone. So, one moment, folks, if you wouldn't mind, one last time this year, holding up my lovely sign for me. Oh, hang on, legs twisted. Here we go. Oh. See, this is a high quality professional show with high production value. So we are officially in the spoiler zone. And so we meet Delph and Ando. Ando there's not her full name, it's a longer name, but she is an older, wise white woman. She's an older lady with her young protege who, as I say, looks like Skara from Stargate, both the movie and the TV series, played by the same actor. One of only two crossover characters, I think, that were played by the same people. I think it was only him and sorry, I'm sidetracking. So yeah, they are walking out onto basically the quarry, the planet they've decided to do, and it's Delph's initiation. So they're talking about their faith, they're talking about their creator. They're talking about doesn't feel like he's ready. He feels like the more he's learnt, the less he knows, and she's like, well, that's the point. So now is your time, and he starts. He does raising hands, doing all stuff, and his eyes are glowing, and rocks are coming together, and formations are happening. So clearly, these beings who we find out are the Ook are powerful psychokinetic aliens who believe in a creator. And as Delph is doing his thing, it looks like his final exam or whatever, she sees behind him like this ball of lightning, I guess, like this energy thing, and there's a figure forming from it. And so he stops what he's doing and watches this, and then we get a title card. 3,407 years later. The last 7 must have really dragged. We are back on the TARDIS with our crew, our fam, our team, and the doctor's talking about the distress signal that they found, and Graham's like, "Well, should we go?" Like, because it's this is where we get the planet's name, which is the title. And I can't remember it. And I'm really sorry. This is what happens when you have long titles. Someone said about the solar tracks, which I called Doodles last week, but the solar tracks, they were like, they keep coming up with these names, and nobody can remember the names straight away. I'm trying to, as they were saying names of things, I was repeating them to myself, so I try not to forget. And the planet has a long name. But so she said, "Oh, there's a distress signal at Planet Long Name, and we need to go there. And it's not just a distress signal from the planet, but it's like a very specific area on the planet." And Graham's questioning whether they should go, and she's like, "Well, all these other people have gone past it. Do you think we should do that as well?" And he's like, "No, fair enough, Doc. Let's go." So they lock on to a ship. They find the commander. I'm going to call Bob because I can't remember his name. But so Bob's like holding a gun, because she's walking around, and she's like, there are hibernation chambers, there are the supplies, there's weapons bank. This is a long range mission. This is ship. This is they're planning for the long haul, and so she's like, they're looking around. Bob comes out, pops his gun, and he's like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And she's like, "It's all right. I'm the doctor." She says, "Yes, Graham, Ryan. We're friends. We're here to help." And so they're talking about the planet being like a soul destroyer, soul eater, and Graham's like, "Oh, that's cheerful." And she gives them these neural stabilizers because like the planet can mess with your head. So she gives them these little things they can put on here and keeps them on an even keel, keeps them balanced. So Bob's all like, I can't remember who I am. So she gives him a neural stabilizer, and slowly he starts to remember who he is. Right, excuse me, because I need to sort out dinner. So come with me into the kitchen. Live, everybody. Sorry, I'm doing a Sunday roast. It takes about an hour and a half. If I don't cook it now, then it'll be like midnight before I get to eat. So if I just pop you all down here. See, this is a bit different, isn't it? A bit of excitement. What you come to expect with such a high-class professional show as mine. Glove. There you are. Do you like my kitten oven glove? It's too bad this isn't smell-o-vision, because this is gorgeous. This is really nice. Just doing me Herbie Buster stuff. Scissors. Scissors. See, now you get a cooking show as well. See, you don't get that on other YouTube channels, do you? Hello. I'm making homemade chicken noodle soup in a crock pot right now. Awesome. Thank you, William. Well, I am having roast chicken for my dinner as well, so we're all everyone chicken for everyone. Your noodles sound lovely. Sorry if I'm shouting. I don't know how loud I'm coming across in here. Come on, you Herbie Butter. I have to open it a bit more and scrape it out, I think. This smells wonderful, by the way. I'm sorry you can't smell it. Oh, I've lost someone. That's fine. I understand if you want to go away whilst I'm talking about food. 2 more people. You know what? I'm okay with that because this is my show. So they meet Bob. His memories start coming back. He tells them their name, which obviously isn't Bob because I can't remember his name. And they establish that his crew is obviously missing. There's another 4 of them. And they agree to help him find the rest of his crew. Ryan finds the on switch for the main scanner. As Bob's getting his memory, he's like, move aside, lad, don't get out of the way of the view screen, so he can't be seen, basically. Ryan can't be seen. Then we meet, so it's Ando comes back on screen and says, Bob, where's the thing? I want the thing back. You have to bring the thing back. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you the thing. Excuse me. Just now, how yummy does that look? That's my dinner tonight, by the way, in case you're wondering. So he's like, no, I'm not giving you the thing. He can barely remember what the thing is at the moment, but I'm not giving you the thing. And the doctor's like, well, what is it? What is it? And he's like, I can't quite remember yet. But so they find something, and she scans it, and it's like this clear, crystally thing with a black vibrating something inside. It's like a black ball of confusing density that's super heavy. It should be super heavy, but the doctor can pick it up. And we don't know what it is, but it's the thing that Ando wants back. But also, she says about the creator. The creator. The other side of the pond takes us here in UK. Cool. No, it's great. People from Texas. I like that. I like the fact that we have someone from Texas here today. See, this is why I love the internet. So yeah. So, excuse me. Right. So they get back on the scanner, and Ando is like, if you don't do the thing, our creator will, hurt your crew. And you hear this sinister voice, and they're all like, no, it can't be. And yeah, we are still in the spoiler zone. Polite reminder, we can't see the sign, but we are still in the spoiler zone. It's Tim Shaw. Tim Shaw has made his comeback into the series. So, although Chibnall said that there wouldn't be an overarching story throughout, like in the same way that there have been previously, I would argue that certainly, particularly Graham and Ryan, they've had an arc, but that's not necessarily, that's a very personal to people who are going on this adventure, would grow and develop as people. So that makes sense. But as terms of a singular protagonist causing problems for the crew, there hasn't been that ongoing story. But yes, Tim Shaw is back. I need to put my vegetables on steam. This is definitely becoming a different kind of program. Steam pot. So yeah, Tim Shaw's back, and so the Doctor. Sorry. They kill one of Bob's crew members, which he's not happy about, obviously. And the Doctor says we're going to rescue the other two. And 8 people. So, bye. So they basically come up with a rescue plan with the scanners, basically all the stuff off Bob's ship. 1 second, I need to get vegetables. Organise yourselves. Mixed vegetables. So Graham pulls the Doctor one side and says, "Can I talk to you?" And the other two were like, he's like, no, alone. Sorry, headphone users. And they're like, all right, fine. And Graham is basically to the Doctor, look, I appreciate what you've done, all the adventures, all the places, all the planets, all the times, but if I see him, I'm going to kill him. And she's obviously like, no, don't, if you do that, you can't travel with me anymore. And you're like, I know, I understand that, but for Grace, you know, because obviously what you went through last week with the soul tracks, you know, doodles, he's definitely been affected by it. So he's like, he's up front with her. He's like, look, if I see him, if I get a chance, I'm going to kill him. And she's like, please don't. So there's that. So there's Graham's arc. And food clip. I've added carrots and peas to my chicken noodle soup. Brilliant! This is Cooking with William and Michelle whilst talking about Doctor Who. This is the cutting edge of YouTube entertainment. And aren't you all excited to be here for it? Right, we're going back into the living room for a moment. So yeah, he's doing that. He's going to take revenge. The Doctor's obviously not happy about the idea. She's gathered stuff from Bob's ship, which is going to be like, got some grenades, got these trackers, got these like throat mic things. Ugh, got my spoiler sign. There we go. And that's it. And then it becomes a rescue mission. So they're on they see this. Well, first of all, they see the debris of all these other ships that are around. Like, I think it says 9 ships. Because I think Bob at one point mentions there's like an alliance of 9 planets. He says, like he says, he still can't remember what the thing is. The Doctor plants a couple of bombs on it just to make sure that if someone threatens her, then it's like she doesn't want to blow it up. She doesn't know what it is, but she doesn't want to destroy it. However, if people are going to give them problems, then she's going to like, okay, you want this, I'm going to threaten it. And yes, they see this big floating thing in the sky, realize that's where they got to go, because Bob's like, oh, that's where we were going, that was our mission target. And yeah, so the thing that they've got, that Bob had, he said he didn't steal it, he was retrieving it. That was his mission, to retrieve it, but he can't remember why or what it is, but that he has to keep it safe. So they keep it with them. They get themselves onto the floaty ship thing, which turns out to be the shrine for Delph. And Ando, it's so basically the Ooks are these long-lived, there's like only 6 in existence, 2 in the travel in 2s, and you know they very much of their faith. And essentially when Delph was doing his floaty rock exam, that's when Tim Shaw came back. So basically at the end of the pilot, Woman Who Fell to Earth, when the Doctor sent him back with the DNA thing, his own DNA weapons, choose it against him, and he got kicked off this crane. Instead of where he should have been sent back to his own home planet with his recall device, he wasn't. He was flung halfway across the universe and landed on the, this other place. So basically, had Del Fernando not been there, he'd probably been just on his own on this rock and ill. He thought he was going to die, or at least not live a healthy life. And he survived with their help, and because of the timing of his arrival, they thought he was their god, their creator, and he's basically manipulating them this entire time, taking advantage of their faith. The younger man, Delph, does seem to be aware of this, because at one point further on, Tim Shaw sends him off, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, he seems to be more aware, but Ando's very much following orders and doing. Oh, we're losing people. That's a shame. I had more people in the kitchen. Should I go back in the kitchen? Ando was like very much following the creator, and sorry, let me just gather my thoughts, because there's a lot going on, but it's quite it's quite a slow burn, and trying to remember everything that happened. So they're going around. At one point, they see the robots. Like, there's a group of, it's quite a great moment. There's a group of robots coming this way. There's a group of killer bots going that way. You've got Graham and Ryan in the middle, and Ryan said, like, duck! So they all kill each other. So that was quite cool. Ando's leading the Doctor, so she finds Ando, and she's like, who are you? Where are you? Like, give me the thing. He said, well, no, because I've got some grenades on this thing, so if you shoot me, you risk this. Hello. Oh, you're still here. Thank you, William. So you shoot me, you risk blowing up the thing that you want. So she doesn't. They start talking, and that's where we find out they're the Ukes. The Doctor's like, oh, I remember, I know you, I've heard about you, and you're this, and you're brilliant, and like, I've never met one. I'm so privileged to meet you. And she's really, really enthusiastic, and always something goes, oh, that's right, you're very devoted. So basically she goes to, and it's like, let him see my face. And Tim's like, bring her to me. Like, and I was like, how can you know? How can you know you? What? I don't understand. And she's like, well, it happens. And so the Doctor and Tim Shaw have their face-to-face which is really good. They're talking, and this is where we find out what happened, how he ended up on the planet, and essentially he wants to take revenge on the Doctor, because he should have been leader of the planet for abducting that kid, and he's not. He's in exile, but he's been in exile for 3,407 years, which is where we get the line about the last 7 must have really dragged, which I laughed. And so basically he's taking advantage of these two people's faith and their power, because we saw it at the beginning. They are powerful. There's no doubt about that. And I don't know if it's their specific power set, which is strong, or the planet, or a combination, but together it's a lethal force. And so he's going to take the Earth. He's going to take revenge on the Earth by taking the Earth. So it turns out that the object in the crystal, because there's like more of them, there's like 5 altogether, they are planets that have been shrunk down, which did remind me of a classic. It's a Tom Baker episode that I can't remember what it's called, where another guy did that because he thought it was a massive, oh, look at how clever I am. And the Doctor's like, brilliant, you're a madman. And he gets very pouty about it. But that's a good Tom Baker episode, if I can remember the title of it. If you can remember the title of it. So yeah, they've basically pulled planets out of the sky, shrunk them down to enhance the shrine, to make the building stronger. They've basically they're combining Tim Shaw's technology with the natural powers of Delph and Ando, and basically turn the entire shrine as a weapon. And they're going to steal the Earth out of the sky, and I don't know what that does to the people, but it's probably not good for them being compressed down to this big. So So then we get our big dramatic, how we're going to fix everything. So yeah, Graham and Ryan, because Ryan's like worked out that Graham's probably going to do something stupid. And he's like, come on, Grandad, you know, you can't do this. And he's like, I've waited years for that. So yeah, well, I love you. And he's like, what's it? Don't make me say it again. You know, I know you heard me. So they have a heart to heart, and basically Ryan's like, Nan wouldn't want you to do that. Nan would want you to be the bigger man. Yeah, that's what she'd tell me, and that's what I'm telling you. Be the bigger man. So they find these stasis pods because they've got the code breakers to rescue them. They find the stasis pods, and then they find more stasis pods, and then more. So essentially, all the previous crews have been kept in these pods, bar like the lady we see got killed at the beginning. So yeah, so basically Ryan and Graham are like, okay, we're going to rescue these people now. So you've got them, 2 code breakers, 30-odd pods, and obviously being attacked by more of the robots. So that's all happening. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Yaz are trying to be like, okay, so how do we... Oh, sorry, my hair's still damp. How do we stop them from essentially ripping Earth out of the sky? And like, so the Doctor brings the TARDIS to her because she's like, you've got all this technology, well, I've got a ghost monument, which is a nice little callback. And then she's like, makes references to, is it Stolen Earth and Boomtown, where she said, I've flown your planet across the sky with this ship, and I turned this little thing back into an egg. So that was fun. Oh, I had this like, so apparently, sorry, complete sidetrack. Apparently there's rumours, and I haven't read into them, so again, I don't know how true it is, that apparently Billie Piper's supposed to be coming back, either as Rose or the Moment or something else, probably as Rose from the parallel world. I don't know what that means for Tennant, if he's coming back, or if it's just Rose on her own. So yeah, I did have this idea, like how their encounter would go. So obviously Rose knows the Doctor can change, but she doesn't know the Doctor can gender flip, because let's face it, it's the first time it's happened. So I kind of imagine, and this is kind of my own headcanon-y fanfic-y, if anyone wants to develop it, but the idea that she would meet Whittaker and be like, well, no, you're not the Doctor, because, you know, you just sound like some northern bird, you know, some northern blonde bird. And, you know, Jodie be like, hey, lots of planets have a north. And she's like, Doctor? I just think that would be kind of a cute little throwback to have that connection, because obviously, you know, Whittaker and Eccleston are both northern, and it'd be quite a fun little joke. But that's my headcanon, that if the rumours about Billie Piper coming back are true, that would be a nice little thing that would be kind of cool to happen. Sorry, I'm still stuck on the side, but I don't hate Rose as a character. I like Billie Piper as an actor, but I didn't like Rose in the second series. I thought she got very clingy towards the end, and her storyline kept dragging out. But if she comes back, then we'll see what happens. Like I said, as the Moment, Billie was very good, and I enjoyed that. So, where were we? Yeah, so Ryan and Graham are rescuing people. Doctor and Yaz are trying to stop Delph and Ando from stealing the Earth out of the sky. Realizing that meanwhile you got these 5 other planets that are becoming unstable. At one point she can't pick it up anymore. So she's like, oh, that can't be good. My dinner's beeping again, so let's go continue this conversation back in the kitchen. And yes, so they realise that the best way to do it, because they are psychically linked to the machine, to the weapon, that they should... I'm going to turn that down. Check this steamed veg. Does it need a bit more, or am I good? No, you're a spoon. I need a fork. Why is there so many spoons? There we go, fork. Fork. Bit longer for the bed. So yeah, they take their neural stabilizers, do some jiggery-pokery, turn them into neural blockers, because they are concerned, excuse me, if they just drag them off the machinery. Hello, yeah, back to the kitchen. If they just drag them off the machinery, that could hurt them, that could cause bigger problems, more instability. So the question is, how do we get them off, stop them doing what they're doing without making things worse or hurting them? And there is, we take our blockers off of us, flip them around and put them back on them, and then it'll work as a neural blocker rather than a neural stabilizer. And that works. And this is when she brings the TARDIS back in to create a new machine to stop the Earth. Yeah, but as soon as they put the neural blockers on them, the Earth is safe. The red beam that's starting to encompass the planet goes. So the Earth is fine. But now they need to return all the other planets back to their orbits, because that's that's what they need to do, because it's the right and proper thing to do. And so yeah, it turns out that Delph has someone on his head, because he's the one who pulled them out in the first place. So they do a lot of jiggery-pokery. There's a whole big sequence. The Doctor brings the TARDIS to her. They connect up the cables. Delph's like, the Doctor's like, this will hurt, and Delph's like, it's fine, and Doctor's like, no, it's not, but thank you. So Ando goes on the original plinth on the planet. Ando's in the TARDIS, holding onto these cables, linking himself into the psychic circuitry, and basically telling the TARDIS where to put the planets back as they are breaking out of their containers. So that was a whole thing that happened. And yeah, that they do. They succeed. The planets will get put back where they are. Again, the populations, I don't know if they did get crushed to atoms or somehow they're okay. I mean, I think the implication is that all those people died, but having the planets not be in their orbits is going to cause knock-on effects with the local gravities. So yeah, they put everything back. Meanwhile, Graham does have his showdown with Tim Shaw. He does. He's got the gun. There's a lot of cutting back and forth between these two scenes. So he's got his gun and he's pointing it at Tim Shaw, and he's like, you kill my wife, you deal this, and he's like, yeah, but you're not gonna kill me. You're not a warrior. And like Graham's like, no. And just as Tim's about to attack him, Ryan comes on the other side and sort of doesn't want to blow the thing in the shoulder. He doesn't kill. Nobody kills him. And he's like, leave my granddad alone, you. So they managed to disarm him. At one point they're like, so what are you doing? Because they said, look, no doing the hand thing. Graham does shoot him. How do I rate it out of 10? I don't know, 11's my favourite. I rate it quite high. I think like a solid 8. There's a lot going on. But yeah, I think it's solid. So yeah, Graham does shoot him, but he only shoots his foot, and he's like, don't tell the doctor, you'll kill me. And they're like, well, so what do we do now? And they put him in one of his own pods, essentially, because Bob's taken all the other prisoners away. He's taken the ship, and this is where Ryan goes back. It's a whole lot going on. But yeah, so Graham and Ryan take Tim Shaw, put him in one of his own stasis pods, and says, right, you're going to be here for a very long time, and think about what you've done, and while you're doing that, we want you to think about one thing, and as one they say, grace. So this is for grace. And they don't kill him, but they do keep him a prisoner in his own prison pod, his own stasis pods. So that's that. So yeah, basically that's pretty much the episode. They get the Doctor offers to help take all the people back to the planets, save Bob some time, and cauliflower. Well, a little bit longer. He's like, no, I'll take them all back. I'll finish my mission. Ando and Delph are like, can we come with you? And I was like, this is our planet. Said, yeah, but we need to get off. We need to see what else is out there. We need to explore. And Bob was like, well, we have to sleep on the floor. He goes, I've walked this planet for decades. The floor will be fine. So yeah, the Ooks go off and explore the universe. The Doctor gives a nice speech about being good and hopeful and bright and, you know, seeing what's out there because it's awesome. And she's like, "Come on, fam, let's go." And they're like, "I thought we weren't going with fam." And Jazz is like, "I like it." So yeah, I do rate it as I'd say a solid 8. It's enjoyable. There's a lot going on. There's probably loads I've missed. A lot of good character study, and like I said at the beginning of this review, it's definitely Bradley Walsh's episode again. I mean, he and Jodie are definitely the stronger ones. There were a couple of moments that really got me, and it was just a really good, solid, not a fun episode. Sure. Hello, Cadbury. Sorry, I forgot your given name. I shit this season. You might not have had the finale, and nothing would change. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Well, that's your opinion. I kind of enjoyed it, and I think everyone else here did. So yeah, I'll be tuning in for the New Year. So the New Year teaser trailer. There's rumours, which I don't. You know, rumours aren't real until they're real. But there is saying that this is the DNA of the most dangerous beings in the universe. We see some medieval knights, we see some modern soldiers, we see like modern cars. Basically, the idea is that the DNA is trying to be infecting and of trying to influence Earth this whole time. And Graham's like, "Does this have a name?" And the Doctor looks up and looks very serious, and it's like, New Year's Day, 7:00. So yeah, the rumour is obviously Dalek, and the Doctor describing them as the biggest threat in the known galaxy is consistent with that, consistent with the idea of the being Daleks. But yeah, overall, what do I think of this season? I think it was pretty good. Sorry, Cadbury, you know, it's my show, my opinion. You're welcome to yours, but this is me. I think it was good. The only one, the spider episode, I thought could have been better. It was a waste of Chris Noth. The Witchfinders, I wasn't a huge fan of. I mean, there were some nice character moments, and Jim Cummings was very good as King James. So, not Jim Cummings. Who am I thinking of? He was. Yeah, King James was good. So the moments between him and the Doctor, I enjoyed. What have we got there? A lot of people are not going to be happy that after New Year's no episode until 2020. Again, I don't know if that's going to be for America or for the UK. So yeah, I won't be happy about it if it's not, because there's a long break. But apparently Jodie is definitely coming back, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, overall I've enjoyed it. It's definitely an improvement over Capaldi's last year, and I didn't dislike Capaldi's episodes either. But yeah. As for me, I think I'm going to keep doing this. I'm quite enjoying doing it. I'm nice to have a break till New Year's Day, and then either late 2019 or early 2020. But yeah, I've enjoyed it overall. I don't know. Because it's Christmas and I've got a lot going on, what I might do is wait until the New Year special, and then like have a rewatch session at some point, mid-January, early February. And I may or may not, you know, after rewatching them all, sit down and sort of talk to you all again, like episode by episode, like might make notes. I haven't decided yet, but I definitely will at some point rewatch them. I've got a V Plus box, so good. Sorry, I've just opened the oven door and I've steamed up. Good characters, is that supposed to be, William? Yeah. So yeah, I'm probably going to carry on doing these because I've been really enjoying them. I don't know what I'm going to do regarding I've got ideas that I may or may not do with the classic series. But otherwise, yeah, unless anyone's got other questions or comments, I should probably sign off and dish up dinner. No? Well, thank you for those of you who've been here, and obviously thank you for anyone who's watching this later on. I hope you've enjoyed the view of my kitchen. Good characters. Look, last the plot. Enjoy your chicken. Thank you. I will enjoy my chicken. What is that for the series overall? Yeah, I can agree that overall the series hasn't been. There's been good and bad. I think it was been consistently higher than some previous seasons. Maybe only being 10 episodes has helped that. I think we're talking favourite of this series, probably Rosa. It's probably my favourite. Oh, the Taranga Conundrum. Those two, for very different reasons. I think they're probably my favourite episodes. And the rest of it I enjoyed. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off, dish up, and enjoy my dinner. So, as I said, for those of you who've been here live, I appreciate it. William, thank you for all the interaction. It's been really nice. Anyone watching later on, thank you. Again, appreciate it. You're awesome. I've been Michelle, you've been listening, and I will see you in the new year. Bye!